What happened there is kind of what Gold kind of pointed out to her, which is when you let your emotions cloud your judgment, it turns off your superpower. So when you're emotionally invested in something is a lot different than being a bail bonds person who's just trying to trap someone in a lie. When you actually care about Mary Margaret, when you actually care about these people, and when you want hope against hope to free them, those emotions get in the way. I mean, how many times have we all been like, I know it's the wrong thing, but I'm still going to hope it comes out the way I want.
And it's also a case of, when you're looking for it. For example, in the pilot, she says to Henry, I've got the superpower. She's looking right at him. She's focusing on that. And the same thing when she talks to Regina at the end of the pilot. But once she starts to trust someone, which has happened with Sydney, and she becomes so emotionally invested, as I said, in what's going on, it's a blind spot. And it is something that we do acknowledge and get into a little bit more as the season progresses. That's something that we are going to explore. We don't want to spoil it all, but we're
go ahead. We won't tell anyone.
We're aware that what the curse does and how it affects people in a very specific way is really something that comes up towards as we finish out this season.
But as far as Gold and when he figured things out, I remember in the pilot in a jail cell asking Snow what the name of her daughter was, and then I remember at the end of the pilot he had a look of an aha when he heard the word Emma. So that might have been the trigger. For us, we always wanted to tell, something surprising, but we wanted to tell, why was Red so flirty, would be the diplomatic term in Storybrooke.
Oh, yeah.
And what we wanted to tell was a story of, if that was your curse, why? Well, what is that really about? It was about insecurity. And so that you see in Fairy Tale Land, she's kind of this really strong, small-town woman who wants to get out. And then in Storybrooke, you see her regaining her confidence. And that was written by Jane Espenson, who's fantastic. And
it's one of the things with that idea is that we wanted to take a woman who did want to leave her small town, but then also explore this idea of what happens when she's thrust with this horrible secret, and how does she handle that? And our feeling is it makes her stronger, and that we wanted to show how this character could grow strong and empowered. And then on the Storybrooke side, her cursed version is a reversion to before she had gained that strength, and we wanted to now take her on that journey of becoming strong and empowered again. Here's what I'll say about that, which is they are fighting a curse, and these are men like David, for example, is a man who really wants to be a good man, and he wants to be this prince that he was, but he's
a real man, and a real man would do what David did. I mean, I don't mean real man like in real man. I mean like in real everyday. You try to do what you think makes everybody happy, and it always blows up in your face. And that's what David was. Is he's so noble and great in fairy tale world, and in our world he's cursed to just be average and kind of do the wrong thing, even though he knows it's the wrong thing, and not help himself. He's not a hero yet.
He's also placed in an incredibly difficult position, which is he's in love with someone who's not his wife, who actually is his wife, but he doesn't know that. And the one who
he feels guilty about someone that is an implanted memory.
So it's causing a lot of problems that he's got to work out, and we're trying to help him along.